They arrive long before dawn, rubbing the sleep out of their eyes, some on foot, others with trailers in tow. It's a dark pilgrimage, but it doesn't stay dark for long. Off in the distance, what look like giant multicolored turnips start to awaken, fed by the blue-green belch of a propane dragon. 3, 2, 1. By sunup, gravity is given a pass, and the spectacle everybody came here to see finally lifts off the ground and floats away on the wind. Let's go. Every October for the last 4 decades, the Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta
Say hi. Hello.
turns the skies over New Mexico into a kaleidoscope, a feast for the eyes, the heart, and for some, their soul.
You fly in an airplane and you're looking at a little bitty hole. You fly in a helicopter and you got all this noise and you can't hear. You fly in a balloon and you got a 360-degree view of everything that you see. It's probably the closest thing to being a bird that a human being can do.
The sheer scale of it is overwhelming. More than 500 hot air balloons are all in the air at the same time. Crowds cheer as the balloons lift off one by one in a colorful wave, some just seconds apart. It's a delicate dance, all choreographed by so-called zebras. They're dressed that way so the balloon pilots can see them in what looks like organized chaos.
I'm like a kid in a candy store when I see the balloons all up in the air. I love it.
As spectator sports go, the Balloon Fiesta is pretty laid back. In fact, the best way to watch it is on your back to prevent a kink in your neck.
I'm just so happy to be here.
The Balloon Fiesta has been on Susan Brooks' bucket list for years. She came to see this heavenly sight all the way from North Carolina.
I say, God, thank you, because He has blessed us with a beautiful world. And I said, it's just another way that we can see it. And I love it. I just absolutely love it.
Ballooning was man's first form of flight. It happened in Paris in 1783. The Montgolfier brothers believed that it was actually smoke that caused things to rise. Although they were wrong, they did get quite a ride, says historian Troy Bradley.
Didn't get a lot of lift, but they got enough to get it up to probably have a spectacular view. And coming back and telling stories of this aerial view had to have been pretty remarkable.
But at the time, going that high was a pretty death-defying feat, right?
It was, exactly. And especially in the balloon that they were flying. That's a scary contraption. I'm not sure that I would have wanted to do that.
And that's saying something. Last year, he and Russian pilot Leonid Tukchayev broke 2 world records. They flew their helium balloon farther and stayed aloft longer than anyone, a total of more than 6 days. But ballooning is not without its dangers.
I looked off over there, and the next thing I knew, you saw a big fireball go up.
In July, a sightseeing balloon carrying 16 people crashed in Texas, killing all on board. But accidents like that are rare, even among those who use their balloons to compete.
All jammed up together, trying to get to the tip of that target.
The point of this competition is to maneuver the balloon over a target and hit the bullseye with a beanbag tossed from the basket. There are few better at it than the Hartzell family.
It's not hard, you just have to be lucky, see? I wear a belt that's got Indian head nickels around it, I got a silver dollar in my pocket. You just want to be luckier than the other guys. Atta girl.
It's a family affair for them. Joe,
Okay, well, have fun.
and his 2 sons all fly. The rest of the family help out on the ground.
Next generation pilot.
They're all about exposing newcomers to the sport, and it is a pretty easy sell.
Well, Lee, it's enough pressure. Looks like you're not getting out of flying.
Judy Nakamura has been piloting hot air balloons for almost a decade.
Okay, let's hit it. You guys ready on top?
Although before she took us up, she had a confession to make.
And here's the funny thing, I'm afraid of heights.
No, you're not.
Well, I just
really?
don't look down. Yeah, but I wasn't going to tell you that till it was all over.
She's a fan of the truth. She has to be.
How are you going to fill the hole?
She's a state Supreme Court justice, a job that obviously requires a lot of control, which ballooning doesn't really offer.
If you are a control freak, ballooning is not for you. If you need to know, Lee, where you're going to land today, you better not get in this basket.
That all sounded pretty good to me. And so, we were off. The ascent is so smooth, you barely realize you've left the ground. There's a gentleness about it, and a silence.
You get it?
Yeah, I totally get it.
I still don't know how to quite describe it. Look at that. I mean, just like a bunch of Christmas ornaments hanging in the air.
That's exactly what it is.
Judy's fear of heights seemed to melt away, for the most part.
You deal with those fears, you overcome those fears. Yeah. Okay, that made my knees quiver.
Does it ever get old?
No. It's different every time.
But it can't last forever.
I'm currently at 6,300. I'm going to start the descent.
Landings can be the tricky part.
I want to go there. We're not. And I'm okay. Any landing that you walk away from is a great landing.
Watch out, dude.
Sometimes you glide right into the hands of a waiting crew.
Woo! Great slide.
Other times, the ground comes up to meet you pretty hard. And sometimes you come down and you don't always stay down. Such is the nature of hot air ballooning. It's not always an exact science, it's more of an experience.
Welcome to ballooning.
That was awesome. That was great. Thank you so much.
In these days when flying is more drudgery than anything, here, it's all about whimsy. A place where pigs fly